Vietnam is one of Asia's fastest-growing logistics hubs, strategically located with more than 3,000 kilometers of coastline, busy seaports, and direct access to ASEAN supply chains. Every year, trade volumes rise sharply, confirming Vietnam's role as a vital gateway for global commerce. For foreign investors, establishing a freight forwarding company here is a promising opportunity to tap into both regional and global markets. Under Vietnam's WTO commitments, foreign investors can hold 100% ownership in freight forwarding companies. This level of openness sets freight forwarding apart from other logistics activities that remain more restricted. However, investors should be aware that certain related services, such as domestic trucking or multimodal transport, may require additional permits or cooperation with local partners. Vietnam does not set a universal minimum capital for freight forwarding companies, but your declared capital must match the scale of your services. In practice, most joint ventures declare between $10,000 and $300,000 USD as charter capital. Authorities will assess whether your declared capital is realistic for your proposed operations. Every freight forwarding company must register a legal head office in Vietnam. The address must be supported by a valid lease contract and ownership documents. For initial setup, some investors choose a virtual office. However, if your operations involve warehousing, inland transport, or large-scale client services, you will need physical facilities that comply with logistics standards, fire safety, and environmental rules. When registering your company, you must select the correct business lines under Vietnam's VSIC codes for freight forwarding. The formal establishment begins with the Investment Registration Certificate. The IRC grants you the legal right to invest in freight forwarding services in Vietnam. It records key information such as ownership structure, capital contribution ratios, and the scope of services you are authorized to provide. Normally, the IRC takes 2 to 3 weeks to be issued. Once the IRC is approved, you must apply for the Enterprise Registration Certificate. The ERC legally incorporates your company as a Vietnamese entity. At this stage, you define the company type, usually a limited liability company, and record freight forwarding as your official business line. The ERC is typically granted within 1 week. After receiving the ERC, you need to complete essential post-licensing tasks. These include making the company seal, registering for initial taxes, and opening a corporate bank account for capital contributions. Completing these steps ensures that your company is fully operational and ready to engage in Vietnam's thriving logistics market. While freight forwarding companies can be fully foreign-owned, investors planning to expand into multimodal transport or domestic trucking should plan ahead for sub-licenses and possible cooperation with Vietnamese partners. At LTS Law, we help foreign investors establish freight forwarding companies in Vietnam by preparing investment applications, obtaining IRC and ERC approvals, registering business lines, and advising on compliance matters. With our bilingual legal team, we ensure that your company is set up smoothly and in full accordance with Vietnamese law, so you can focus on building your logistics business. Don't let complex regulations and ownership restrictions slow your expansion. Contact LTS Law today or visit lts.com.vn for a free consultation. Your freight forwarding company will be set up legally, efficiently, and ready to thrive in one of Asia's most dynamic logistics markets.